We are live on the Believe in Monsters podcast. Welcome in to another edition. We're back on Tuesday night. The Chicago Bears won. Everything is all good in the world. Oh my gosh. Welcome back into another edition of the Believe in Monsters podcast on the Believe Network. You can find us at BIM_pod on the Twitter machine. Follow my friends Chris Krogman and Luke Berry at LBerry_40 at Shy Bears 1985. I am Joe Gaither, and we're all happy a little bit, I guess. We're here to talk about the Bears' big old win, 16-13 over the Panthers. We'll get an update on Justin Fields and his thumb. But yeah, we won the Super Bowl, the Losers Bowl, and Lucas Berry could not be any happier. What's going on, my friend? How is your day, and are you pumped up for a new week?
Oh yeah, I'm fired up for a new week, a new chapter, a new leaf. Probably will get blown out by the Lions, but we'll get into that later. We beat the Panthers, which was my Super Bowl. I was joking about it all week, but we got it done. And as we talked about last week, I mean, Panthers and Giants in the seat, fighting for number one, number two. But does either of these teams win a game the rest of the way? We will see.
Yeah, Lucas, your Super Bowl platter was kind of
healthy,
not very exciting. With your veggie tray and like cheese plate, I think you said. But hey, it is what it is. That's at a lot of Super Bowl parties. So yeah, that was a game. There was a game that happened. As far as the implications, good and both. Well, I mean, I don't know if the Bears win another game this year, but they probably will. Shit, dude, I don't know if we can beat Arizona the way Kyler was running around already. He looked fantastic. So, but yeah, this game. Here's what I want to talk about. Offensively, do we run the ball as much with Justin? Not with Justin. With Justin under center, Justin in shotgun, do we run the running backs as much as we have with Bajent and in that game specifically? Do you guys think coming back next week against the Lions?
Oh, so you're asking what the offense will change to next week?
Yeah, they clearly wanted to run the ball, and I feel like they ran the ball a lot more with Bajent than they did with Fields. And I didn't look into it, but just felt that way.
Yeah, no, you could be right. And it also could be because the first few games of the year with Fields, we were getting blown out. So our memory is of him throwing all game. But I feel like the run game is, I feel like they run more out of shotgun with Fields in the game, I would think. It seems like that. I think they need to keep relying on the run, especially with Herbert coming back. Is he going to play this week, did they say? Or do we
not know, man. I think Foreman's look great, and I would not.
I'm not saying like steal his job. I'm just saying like to have two guys out there though that are more than capable backs to kind of grind a defense down. I think that's huge for the Bears down the stretch because I mean their ability to block and run the ball efficiently has been awesome. I would say the past few weeks. So
I've heard nothing from Herbert's playing status.
Down the stretch, we need to rely on that, and we'll see what Fields has behind a strong run game then.
Yeah, for sure. Bajent looked fine. Other than listen, I think the conversation's been one of the comments was about how Chris Collinsworth, right, was getting beat up for saying Justin Fields could learn some things from Tyson Bajent. And I think talent-wise, physically-wise, Justin blows him out of the water, right?
Not even close.
Mechanically, Bajent gets into his drop lightning quick. I mean, he is Speedy Gonzalez back to his spot, okay? And maybe processing, I can't tell. I'm not very good at that kind of thing. I can't tell what because I can't see what he's seeing. We never can. He did miss Tyler Scott over the middle for a huge gain that you heard the crowd go bananas on after the play action. Like they saw Scott come open on it was like a third and forever or a second and forever. But accuracy wise, Bajan cannot hit the broadside of a fucking barn. Like he had some absolutely bad throws in that game. There was a screen pass back to the left where Roshan had a army blocking for him, and he just chunked it in the dirt. Like it was terrible. Yeah. It was terrible.
Did he just straight throw that in the dirt, or did something weird? Was he like getting
tackled? No, he was like going. No. He had all the time in the world. He was drifting to his right, and he was in like the first or second quarter. Turned his hips to the left and just made a bad throw. He didn't set his feet. I mean, there's a time for that kind of throw. Yes, but not when it's all the way across the other side of the field. You can't just like turn your hips and flip it. You don't have that arm, kid. So I think it was going into the half or coming out. But yeah, it was somewhere in the middle of the game. It's just terrible, terrible. And then there was like a throw to DJ Moore on like 3rd and 6 that was just way over his head. There was a deep ball to DJ Moore that was way over his head.
It seemed like he played his games in reverse. Like if you would have told me this was his first game and the Raiders game was his last game, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's a believable progression of things to happen. Mm-hmm. Here it was like he had his best game out of the gate and then slowly went downhill. I mean, let's call it as it is. We kind of said this. I mean, he's a long-term backup. I think he's shown he belongs the past 4 games. I mean, maybe he develops into a Gardner Minshew or whatever, but that's still valuable for a team to have. So at this point, I think we're all just ready to move on to see what Fields has coming down the stretch to make this final evaluation.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think it's funny, and I think I texted you guys this earlier this week. Fields supporters have completely talked themselves into him being the Jesus again. And because it's been 4 weeks and they forgot how he has sucked at times this year. Yes, he's had some amazing runs, or 2 good games have been against 2 bad defenses. And now we're pumping up the Broncos defense because of what they did to the Bills. So now Fields looks like a god because he tore up that defense. Like, give me a fucking break, dude. Like, look, I want nothing more than Justin Fields to succeed, but like, I don't know if 7 games is going to replace the last 2.5 years, especially if you have number 1.
No, but I think it makes the conversation more interesting, especially if you look at some of the teams they play. I mean, you got the Lions twice, you got the Packers, you got the Vikings, the Browns, the best defense in football. So I really think we're going to see what Justin Fields is made up down the stretch, and I think they will be able to make a decision. But to your point, can you just put all that other stuff aside and just hyper-focus on these? No, but it makes the conversation a whole lot harder going into the offseason.
I hope he does, man. I hope he blows us away with these last 7 games, but I have no faith. I can't hear anything you're saying, Joe, but you're not on mute.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
I have some defensive comments, but kind of want to wait till Joe has his thing to say. I thought other good offensive call outs. Cole Kmet had another good game. Just solid.
Now I hear 2 of Chris.
1.
Okay, we can hear you. Now I can't hear myself, but I can still hear you. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
It's the echo from his mansion.
That's the problem. Joe's sitting in the 5th bedroom that doesn't have enough furniture in it. Now we can hear you again. God bless America.
Well,
all right. Onward. Offensive line. Another solid performance.
All right, so Chris, this is actually a good point, a good talking point. Have our fans taken it too far? They even keep saying it now that the offensive line is bad, but like, look at the differences in sack numbers between Fields and Bajan. They're not even close to each other.
I don't agree. Like Bajan has days back there, and there's been times where he's definitely run himself out of a clean pocket. There was a play that I think somebody came late, and Darnell Wright picked him up late, but he picked him up. You just got to wait for your blockers to pick up your dudes. Mute.
Joe, you with us now?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, you can hear me, and I'm not messing.
Yes, we can hear you. You need to mute your speakers, though.
Okay, I'll figure that next part out in just a second.
You want to say what you want to say about?
Well, no. The question was that I was going to ask you was, I hope that Justin Fields lights it up for these next 7 games. Are we not in the camp that even if he lights it up for these next 7 games, like, who cares? He's not going to be the guy. Well, I think what the conversation that we have right now is what Luke brought up earlier, kind of like setting up the week and setting up the conversation. And Tyson Bagent, is he Gardner Minshew? Is he going to be a Gardner Minshew type, or is he just going to be a cute little story that we all talk about? And, remember in 2023 we watched this kid Tyson Bagent play. Like, I think that's really what the conversation. Like, Justin, as much as I do love him, and it would be best for the Bears to have him develop and have 7 great games and stay. My belief is 0.
I agree with that. Like I said, I don't know if 7 games is going to make us forget the last 2.5 years. However, it might make him more attractive to another team and garner us more trade consideration. So I don't want him to suck ass and just not be worth a shit to anyone. Even if we move on, I'm curious to see what's going to happen this offseason. The way, like, if they keep winning, I'm more afraid that they're going to keep Eberflus than anything.
But are you confident that they're going to keep winning?
Am I confident that they're going to keep winning?
Right. You said.
I think they can beat the Packers. They can. I think they can beat the Cardinals. And what else we got?
They play the Falcons too.
That's a winnable game.
Vikings, and then Lions twice. I mean, I think if they get the 5 wins, I still don't see how he stays, is my opinion.
He gets to 6, man. You talk about doubling wins from last year. And then
6 is pretty attainable. You give me Cardinals, Falcons, and Packers one time, and you got 6 right there. I don't think that's too crazy.
What's that?
Your mic is so quiet. There's no way.
This is the most technically difficult editing job Luke will have all season.
Well, let me just plug in the old microphone then.
How do I cut out Chris's background noise? How do I make Joe louder here?
No.
Joe's going to edit it for us.
This won't launch until next Monday. And you guys will be like, why are we listening to the Panthers broadcast? Shit. Why aren't they talking about the Lions blowout? What the fuck?
Oh.
So I don't think the offensive line is bad, Luke.
My fucking God. Dude. Please turn your mic off, Joe.
I'm gonna have a heart attack. Oh, holy shit! That hurt. That was the hardest I've laughed in a minute. Hello.
There it is. No echo.
Yeah, you talk. Nope. All right. So I think the offensive line is not bad. My conversation, I think center is the definite replacement. Left tackle, I think I don't see Braxton Jones going anywhere.
So that, I would say this is an underrated storyline going into the offseason is like Braxton Jones, how much does he have to prove over these next 7 games that he is like for a 7-game stretch for a guy not named Justin Fields? This is probably the biggest 7-game stretch for him on the team, considering, they do have an opportunity at 2 top left tackles in the upcoming draft, whether they use that with an early pick or the later pick. Either way, they should have a shot at those guys. So that's going to be fun to watch. He had a good game versus the Panthers. I mean, he missed the 4 weeks, but he's looked solid in pass pro this year. And like we said earlier, they got some good defenses coming up. So,
all right, so
test.
let's play some games. So like right now they have 1-5. Let's pretend that sticks for some reason. It's not going to. It'll change somehow. But say you take one of the quarterbacks at 1, because like I said, if you have one, I don't think they don't just, even if Fields isn't the guy, resetting the rookie contract is going to be more important, probably, especially if they freaking clean house and somehow Poles gets fired, which I don't see that happening either at this point. But, and if they have 5, I mean, it would really depend on what's there. Like, if Harrison Jr. is there, there's no way they're taking a tackle.
Correct. But, I also feel like people are sleeping. They may
even trade back.
Well, I was going to say, I think people are sleeping on this draft class's wide receivers as well. So it's like, even if you don't get, Marvin Harrison, who's probably the only guy I would consider quote-unquote generational in this class, I mean, there's some really good consolation prizes for a team like the Bears, like you said, if they want to stay at 5 or trade back, Chris. So you can still get a really nice receiver to pair with your quarterback if they decide to do that.
Well, and if you get a quarterback, like Drake May, that'll actually attack the middle of the field, then DJ Moore and Cole Kmet could become even more of an asset. And I don't know what you do with Darnell Mooney at this point. He's actually looked pretty good the last couple of weeks, although Bagent tried to get him killed on the last play of the game.
Thank God he caught that, dude. I was worried.
I don't know if I was overly worried if he caught it or not. Defense was playing really well. They didn't have a ton of time left, and
I just was like worried he was gonna fumble or something. Cause that was a huge hit. Like I could see the hit coming out. I was like, oh shit,
dude, he got rocked. But freaking what's his name? Patrick, the center, Lucas Patrick picked him up, put him over his head, okay, you're fine, you're fine, don't die on us. Because he got absolutely annihilated. But I don't know what you do with him. Tyler Scott's looking pretty solid though. I thought he had some nice plays. If he'd have taken that reverse, which that was a sweet play, that fake toss reverse, that was a sweet play. If he'd have taken that outside, I think he might take that to the house. But oh well. Either way, he looks good. I liked his play.
Joe, you with us?
1, 2, 3.
Oh,
yes.
You sound great.
Yes, you sound so sexy. Give it to us, Joe.
Yeah. All right, Joe.
What's to pick up on? I mean, basically, we're all in the same sort of boat here at this point with 7 games left. Or moving on from Fields, and you're trying to play the game we've been playing since week number 2. What are we going to do with our top 2 draft picks? So look, I think that you are going to use one of those 2 picks on Drake May or Caleb Williams. I do think you're going to trade one of them down. I think if you end up with number 1, you're going to try to make people think you're taking somebody and trade down and take somebody else at 2.
I agree, Joe. I have officially switched to the Drake May train for the Bears.
I could care less which one they get. Honestly, if that's the scenario, they're gonna, whoever has 2 is gonna have to get. You can talk them into having to give you everything that anybody below them would give you, because you could tell them we have offers all the way back to 10 that we're willing to take. You better you better pony up right now. So yeah, I agree. And then they take whoever else unless one is so outrageously above the other in your evaluation. I just don't. This team's got too many holes in it. I mean, this basically comes down to keeping Justin without keeping Justin. Trading for a haul but still having a young quarterback. And hopefully you get the guy you want instead of hopefully somebody makes the Bryce Young decision and takes the wrong guy.
Well, I don't think that you're making that choice. I don't think you're making the choice to trade down unless you know who they're actually going to take. I think your bigger choice is taking the right guy, whether you've identified it being Williams or May. You're going to take a little less of a trade package if you wanted the other guy. But I'm with you. I think you trade back just a little bit and you take the other player, and then you use that 5th overall pick. I think the Braxton Jones story is cute, is interesting. You get a serviceable left tackle, but I don't know. I think if you can get a stud, a young stud. Now, granted, that's not guaranteed, but you're going to tell me that you get production on the left side like you've gotten on the right side from Darnell Wright. Look, I do think the offensive line is better, has improved. I think it's still not great, not a position, not an area where we're really boasting strength, but I think it's better. Anytime that you can make additions to the offensive line,
I don't disagree. I mean, I wouldn't. But, so the thing is Ryan Poles seems to love Braxton Jones.
Because he's great value.
He's going to continue to flex on. I did that.
Yeah.
I don't need to replace him.
He has played pretty well this year, I would say, though.
Yeah. Right.
I'm not, and that's, I don't know. That's a conversation.
I wouldn't be mad if they took a tackle there. I really wouldn't. But like I said, I do stand by. I think there is. I mean, I do think there is a way he could make his spot so that they're not going to draft someone else. Like if he's that good down the stretch, I do think something like that could happen. But Joe, while we're kind of at this talking point, I mean, there's a ton of offense in this draft, and not to go too far down this rabbit hole, but if you flip the trench there, a lot of people have your boy from Bama, Dallas Turner, as the number 1 edge rusher in the class. What do you think about that? Is he worthy of a top 5 pick? Or
can I just speak on my team real quick? As a Notre Dame fan, can I have Fashanu instead of Joe Alt? I've seen that dude get smoked at the worst time.
Fashanu's footwork is insane, man.
Yeah, Alt got smoked on like multiple Clemson plays. So we're going to pass on him, please. Okay, Dallas Turner, go.
Just like I said, just curious. I know I mean, this edge class it's whatever. It's fine, but it's not great at the top necessarily. So take it away from what you've seen from Dallas.
Dallas is a good player. I mean, Dallas has made a lot of game-changing plays, so that's endeared him to a lot of Alabama fans. He's a one-man wrecking crew, really. Now, he's been really helped this year because Alabama does have a pretty nice pass rushing unit. I think that Dallas Turner, not worth a top 5 pick, but I think he's going to go in your top 12. I think top 12 sounds about right.
So possibly could be one of those things, you think Ryan Poles maybe wants to go back and accumulate more picks. Do you think he might look at a guy like Dallas Turner, or is he not a Poles guy?
Oh, I think he's a Poles guy. He's a heck of an athlete. He's a yes man. He's a go-getter. There's not really any trouble making. The only, I guess, if you want to say trouble making things about Dallas Turner is sometimes he's a little bit got a little bit too much confidence, but that's not a bad thing. I've never seen that be really a bad thing. I think he believes he can play pretty much any position on that defensive front. I mean, outside of tackle, but he can I think he can play off-ball linebacker just a little bit. Obviously, you're going to keep him there at edge. But he's got a pretty nice little arsenal of pass rushing moves. I don't think he's ever going to be any team's edge rusher number 1, but I think that he could probably be a pretty solid 2. Yeah. You remember
pair with a guy like Montez Sweat? You think it could be a good duo?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the Bears need help there desperately. They need help all over. And like I said, we don't want to go too far down the draft rabbit hole now, but Illinois.
Van Pran, the Georgia center.
Well, I was going to say on the offensive line, I mean, the positions we named, guard, center, you can fill those in free agency fairly easily / in the draft middle rounds. But up top, if the Bears do go offense, defense, Dallas Turner's a name. The kid from Illinois playing 3-tech is one of the better. He is the best DT in this class. So the Bears will have options. I wouldn't be shocked to see them do something like that and go on both sides of the ball and then whatever. But back to the game. Joe, overall, how did you feel? I know it's just the Panthers. Where are we at with the Bears?
I think we're kind of in the same spot with where we are. I think that 6 wins is definitely attainable at this point as you're looking down the rest of the schedule. The Bears are bad. The Bears are a bad football team, but they've got enough, and we've highlighted some of their good. They've got enough good pieces where they're going to stay in some game. I mean, they're not as bad as some of the worst teams in the league. Like we saw with Carolina, and really with Denver as well. But what do you take away from beating the Panthers on a Thursday night? There's not much you should take away from it. I mean, yeah, does it feel good to wake up on Sunday and watch all your friends sweat their games? Yes, it does. So that was nice. But I am not going to sit over here and beat my chest and say, hey, we beat the Panthers. So what's it mean for the rest of the year? I mean, it means that the NFC South is a shitty division. You played the Saints to a close game. You lost the Bucks. You beat the Panthers. You can go beat the Falcons. Split with the NFC South, and I don't know. The rest of the year is going back to the beginning of the conversation, figuring out what you want to do with Bajan, figuring out the best way to maybe gracefully move on from Justin Fields and figuring out ways to improve areas of this roster. I mean, that have holes. I think I think it'd be a luxury to take left tackle at that 5 spot. But I do think you got to figure out a way to come away with one of the better centers in this class. Obviously, that's not a top 15, pick, but I think you need to come away with one of the top centers in this draft class because center and guard, interior guard, has been too long a time for the Bears. Just having pressure right up the middle. We've talked about bad snapping. I'm tired of
that. Yeah, we don't even need to talk that far ahead. Let's talk about this defense a little bit. You know who had an absolutely spectacular game?
Jack Sanborn and Kyler.
Nope. Kyler had a fucking ridiculous game. That dude was everywhere. He had tons of tackles, TFLs, pass breakups, near interception, down on the 10-yard line. If he just gets in front of it 2 seconds quicker.
Dude, what is with our guys not catching interceptions?
I don't know. Tyreek Stevenson needs some hands stuff. Jack Sanborn, you can kind of understand it. It was going behind him, and it would have been a hell of a pick if he got that interception. But
thank God,
Kyler stood out big time.
Yeah,
I mean, he had a great. Standing out on the poor side was Brisker again, getting smoked on the only long play of the game, and also having, he might have had a stupid penalty. He did something else freaking stupid. The only thing good he did was that tackle in the backfield, while they were in the red zone in the first quarter on their first drive.
I saw him out there doing a Flappy Bird.
He did not do that goddamn Flappy Bird all game.
He did.
I did not.
He did. It was like they were panning out, and he was in the bottom doing it. They didn't show him.
Well, it wasn't because he did anything.
Well, I saw him doing Flappy Bird.
You sure it was him?
It was definitely Flappy.
Yeah, Flappy McFlapperson. That guy's not. I wonder if he's still hurt because he's not been playing very well, in my opinion.
How about Montez Sweat though? There, Joe Gaither.
It looks like a good little addition. I mean, it looks like a good addition to the team. I'm once you got the extension done. I people want to cry about you paid a second round draft pick for him. I think that you probably had to. I'm not even upset about. I'm not upset about it at all. Now that you got the extension done, I think he's a good player, and you're going to tell me that You're going to draft a Montez Sweat in the second round? I mean, maybe, but I doubt it.
You basically got more out of him than you got out of Claypool's whole time he was here. I mean, he had 8 pressures. When was the last time a Bears D lineman got 8 pressures in a game? I felt like he was in the Panthers backfield all the time.
Man, he shoved Bryce so far on that one.
And
down on the goal line.
yeah, dude, the Bears get no QB hits. Like I've seen TJ Edwards do it a couple times on like blitzes at the end of a game, but part of that's how you get in a QB's head and rattle him, man. You throw him to the ground a few times early in the game, and you let him know you're going to be back there every time. Like it sets a tone, and the Bears just haven't done that at all year. I mean, Bryce is kind of stinky regardless, but he was really freaking. He looked just so off.
He definitely did not look good. I thought Ngakoue looked a lot more like Ngakoue with Montez Sweat on the other side of him. And the guy I continue to say is underrated is Justin Jones. Dude gets penetration. Just because he can't make the actual play, that's his biggest problem. And I get it. That's a problem. Big problem. But that dude gets more penetration than anybody else on that D-line. I wish he had Dexter's body. If Dexter had his like get off and penetration ability, dude, he'd be fucking ridiculous. I know. I'm pause. Penetration and getting them off.
What say you, Joe Gaither?
Nobody penetrates better than Justin Jones.
I'm telling you.
The deepest penetration on the entire team.
At least.
Oh, boy.
Yes. Sandgod had a good game.
Yeah.
Eddie Jackson was unnoticeable again.
He sucks.
Maybe if we broke his leg again, he'd like come back stronger, better.
I mean, this was a weird game for the secondary just because I feel like they couldn't throw at all regardless. So I guess that's a good thing.
I do think
sign for us.
I do think a lot of the pressure wasn't because of the pressure. It was because there was no one open, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I mean, Jalen's been pretty locked down all year. And I think Tyreek had a pretty good game.
He didn't get a penalty, so that's good. Maybe he did.
No, they did. Him and Jalen got one simultaneously.
Oh, yeah. They both beat the crap out of their dudes. That was
Dude, it was
hilarious.
like third down, and they both did it.
They just, chucked them. Terrible. And the guy made the play anyway, so it didn't matter. All right. That's all I got.
We won. We beat the Panthers. Party, baby.
I mean, seriously, that does kind of put them in the driver's seat for a top 2 pick, which is really what all you could ask for out of this Panthers pick, right, Joe?
Oh, dude, yeah, that's for sure. You got people last year in the offseason when they made the trade, like, oh, the Bears will probably get a top 15, right out the playoffs. They'll be right outside the playoffs. They've been awful, and like, all right, partly I want to take up for Bryce Young because I think that he has no help there. But God, the whole unit, Bryce included, has been not good. Bryce has really surprised me with how ineffective he's been. Their line's been really terrible. They don't have anybody. Like, their only professional pass catcher is fucking Adam Thielen. And that's what's just so funny and so crazy about the DJ Moore trade is like, okay, yeah, we'll take your only good pass catcher as well. Like, crazy. So
you essentially just did to Bryce Young what we did to Justin Fields. Like, gave him nothing to work with. Right? Terrible.
Is
yeah,
this
pretty much.
Is this receiving core worse than the Bears 2017 receiving core for Mitchell's rookie year? Yeah,
is that Kendall Wright as your number one?
And Cam Meredith, yeah.
Yes. Cam Meredith is Adam Thielen's better than both those guys.
That Bears one was worse for sure.
Oh, Cam Meredith, another name of what could have
been. And Marcus Wheaton.
Oh my God.
And wasn't Eddie Royal on there too?
If he wasn't, he
I forgot he
belongs.
played for the Bears for a second.
Marcus Wheaton, they signed him like a 2-year, like $14 million deal, and he
was like 11, dude. It wasn't that much money.
he had like one catch.
It was a lot for him. Way too much for that
True.
guy.
True.
Oh, Ryan Poles, man, what a free agent class that was. His first free agent class was so bad. Ryan Pace, not Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles' first free agent class was so bad.
Cody
Yeah,
Parkey
but
Cody Parkey.
wasn't Prince in that though? Prince Amukamura?
Was he in the first one?
I feel like he was. He was pretty early.
Cody Parkey was in the first
I don't
one.
know. I just remember. I remember Marcus Wheaton. I remember Eddie Royal. We signed some safety. Was it Antrell Roll that we signed at like the end of his career? Horrible, horrible stuff, man.
He was just like a coach on the field, though. He was so old. Let's talk about this Lions game.
Well, you'll want to spend a couple minutes on this orange on orange uniform. Just terrible uniforms. Awful. Come on, Bears.
Dude.
What they need to do is wear a white top with the orange helmets.
They need an all white.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
including a matte white helmet.
Yeah, the Snow Bear.
Oh yes,
but
Snow Bear.
I didn't hate the orange on orange.
It's just.
I agree, Chris. I don't hate it. I think I like the orange jersey with a blue helmet, though. The orange helmet I don't love.
No, I don't love it.
Maybe if they
they wore white pants, right? I wonder what blue pants would look like with that.
White pants.
It was a white. It's a white C though, right?
Yes. No,
it's blue.
It's a blue C with a white outline.
They should have done a white C.
Nah, I think I agree though. Orange jersey with white pants, white helmet would look sick, or a full white out.
Sick. Yeah.
But I think you could pull off orange with white and white.
It looks too much like Home Depot right now.
I've never thought about that, but yeah, I guess you're not wrong.
I don't know. But I'm fine with them only being, once, twice a year, whatever the case may be. But before you go into that Lions game, Chris, come on, we got to do a little better job with the alternate uniforms.
I'm fine with it.
Are we in Detroit this week?
I think so.
We are at Detroit Sunday at 12 o'clock on Fox.
It's going to be a fun one for if Fields does play. It'll be a fun one to see his first game back. I mean, the Lions were awesome last week.
Fuck you, Detroit,
dude. So were the Chargers. Honestly, that game.
It was a fun game.
It was really whoever was going to have the ball last. It seemed like Lions pushed, did not cover 3 points.
So we're at. I mean, how many points do you think the Bears defense can limit this Lions offense to?
24.
Do you think the least they could give up is like 24 to this Lions offense?
Yes, 21, 24, somewhere in that range.
Yes. And if the defense does give that up, are we calling that a win, or are we saying they should be better?
Totally. It's definitely a win. For a team that's probably putting up 30 points a game, which I don't know that, but it feels like they are.
Yeah, they're scoring a ton. No, it was a serious question. I'm just like, if you do give up, that amount of points to an offense of that caliber,
it's only a win if it's a win on the scoreboard.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, is it something we should be upset about? Or the defense has been playing pretty well. I mean, I'll be interested to see what they do versus some better teams here.
Yeah. I'm curious.
Don't even tell me what the Bears are averaging per game.
7 points.
So Detroit's at 26. 6.8.
Does that give you
20
where it's at in the league?
24 over the last 3. Bears are 20 with 15 over the last 3. So the 20 is only like that because of the 2 30-point games that they put up with Fields. Whoa, Roll Tide.
Oh, dog's just trying to jump in the lap. What are you doing?
I want to see scoring defense.
What are you doing?
So scoring defense, Chicago is 27th at 25.5 a game. Detroit is 21st at 22.6. 30 over the last 3, but that's also because they gave up 38 last week.
What are the Bears over the last 3?
22.3.
Oh.
That's because they gave up 13 last week to the Panthers.
Yeah. The Panthers.
So
Carolina Panthers with sharp teeth and claws.
What?
You ever seen that video?
No.
I love it. That's awesome.
It's a stupid Carolina Panthers fan fight song.
So Detroit is second in the league in yards per game at 406 yards per game, giving up 324 a game for 15th.
You say
Bears,
460?
406.
All right. I was going to say 400. I mean, even that's a ton. Who's the leader?
Shit, I don't know. I'm not looking at it that way. I'm looking at it like a heads-up matchup.
I'm just trying to think.
I'll find it in a second.
Who's getting more than 400 yards a game? Miami, maybe?
Philadelphia.
I bet you it's Miami or Philly, yeah.
It's probably got to be Miami because they put up like 700 yards versus Denver.
Against Denver, yeah.
Miami Dolphins #1.
All right, sorry to interrupt. That just blew my mind. But that's a ton, dude. 406. That's insane.
So where do you think the Bears rank offensively and defensively?
20
for yards per game. Yards per game.
26 offensively yards per game.
Okay. Luke?
Yeah, I was going to say 22.
They're 20th at 323.
Great job, Tyson.
Defensively, I want to say
18.
they're
18.
I was gonna say 15th.
They are top 10. They are number 9.
Number 9.
All
Well,
right,
they don't suck near as bad as their record. What the hell?
Coaching. Ooh, penalties.
Bears are 9th in the league in penalties.
They're really not. Penalties. Penalties a game. Yeah, they're 20. I don't know. This must mean bad because it's 6.7 a game and they're 22nd. I feel like that means that they're bad at penalties. Not that's good. Yeah.
Miami's averaging 435 yards a game, by the way.
Whoa.
Miami Dolphins.
That's bananas.
We run the ball.
We run the North. No, we're never going to give it back.
Or in the ground. We're always in control.
So, do you guys think Fields is playing this week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Looks like he's throwing the ball in practice. I mean, what should our expectation be? And is it fair that people are going to say, well, he's just coming back from injury. He needs some more time to get readjusted?
No.
You're not giving him that excuse, Joe.
Fuck no. I'm out of excuses for you, number one. I'm out of excuses for you.
All right.
What's the expectation? Right. The expectation is a win. I don't care how it happens. A win. Be efficient offense and fucking win. But no, what will happen? He will throw 17 of 27. Yeah, 16 of 27 for 180 yards.
Oh, stinky.
Yes, 177 yards. 177 yards with one touchdown, one interception, and he's going to rush for another 35 yards and a touchdown.
Whoa, huge game for Mr. Fields.
Look, you want to while Chris is thinking about it and being more balanced. If you want to give him that excuse of he's just coming back, you got to give him some more time. You sit your fucking ass on the bench. Bajan has shown that we can not die with him out there. The team has a chance with him out there. So if you need more time, it's fine. You want more time, this is your save your career type moment. It's no problem. Take your time and come back healthy if you need more time. But if you come back and play and you take live action snaps, then you're expected to be the fucking quarterback of the Chicago Bears.
So it doesn't look like they ran the ball that much more the last 3 games. On the season, they're at 47.41%. Last 3, they're at 47.72%. Obviously, the season numbers are going to be skewed by the last 3 game numbers, but I'm guessing this is pretty accurate. I never look at that shit. Like, I never think about if you can play, you better play. You better play to your ability. Like, if you can't play to your ability, don't play.
Yeah, I just know we're going to see it. I know we're going to see it after the game. If he does play poorly, that's going to be the first thing people are going to say. And I just know it's coming, and it already bothers me.
I mean, look, you can say it's his thumb, but his physical abilities have never been his problem. His thumb's not going to keep him from getting rid of the goddamn football. If he doesn't hit the target, fine, but it's not going to make him hold on to the football longer. It's not going to make him run around until he gets hurt, until he gets hit and hurts himself again. That's probably why he can't play. Everybody was like, "Oh yeah, he can play. He can play. He wants to play. He really wants to play." And the medical guys were like, "No way, jackass! You hold on to the ball too long, you're going to get yourself killed, and you're going to break the thumb even worse." No, thank you.
I'm interested in this. All right, Joe, I got to say, it seems like a massive shift in your attitude towards Fields. And is it just – I mean, I'm just not trying to, poke the bear. I'm more so just trying to see how you're feeling about it. Is it reality setting in and you just think there's no hope for Fields? Are you done believing in him? Where are you at?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same place I'm at with any quarterback right now. I'm not going to give you any ounce of my hope until you win 2 games in a row in a Chicago Bears uniform. Great, Tyson Bagent, you look maybe like you could be Minshew 2.0. Who fucking cares? Caleb Williams or Drake May, they might be John Elway / Patrick Mahomes. Great. Who fucking care? You're going to have to – I don't have any semblance of hope or belief for any quarterback in a Bears uniform right now, based on the organization, based on the offensive coordinator, based on what's going on in the interior of the offensive line. We talked about it just before the show kicked off. Is it going to be Roschon? Is it going to be Roschon Johnson, Deontay Foreman, or Khalil Herbert this week? Well, we all know that Deontay Foreman has run his ass off, but lo and behold, it's going to be Khalil Herbert running 1 yard a pop because it just is. It just how the Bears are going to be. And so, I'm just out on any sort of hope.
Herbert was not playing poorly.
I'm just saying that.
Okay,
it's
it's just Bears,
right?
That's just where you're at.
Of course, they benched the guy who's got the hot hand right now for a guy who's been on IR for the last 4 weeks, just because.
Yeah, if Herbert comes back and looks a little rusty, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Sure, yes, I will too. The different positions, different requirements, the circumstances on where we are of Justin Fields' career dictate that he's out of excuses. And
I'll give excuses all day long for young players, but we're at the place with Justin Fields now that, oh, it's Luke Getsy, his system. I'm not playing free enough. Oh, whatever the case may be. Oh, my mechanics have slowed way down. I won't throw over the middle of the field. Whatever the case may be. I don't want them to think I'm a running quarterback, so I'm not running as much anymore. Like, whatever the case may be, I'm done with it. You need to start fucking winning.
Look, as bad as it might seem, like he was the fourth quarterback in his class for a reason. I mean, looking back, like you might say like he should have gone over those guys, but you got to think about the talent evaluators above that passed on him. I mean, Jacksonville you get, but San Francisco kind of makes me a little weird. Like I think Kyle Shanahan knows his quarterbacks, and he must have seen something. He might have fucked up and taken Trey Lance just based on what it could be and just not knowing enough. But yeah, it's a little weird. All right, score predictions, motherfuckers.
So I think we're 9.5-point dogs. I'm looking up what the over/under is.
Recording in progress.
That had it has shifted. It opened at 10 or 10.5. So it has shifted slightly. Oh no, I'm sorry. It opened at 7.5, and now it's up to 10.
I got 9
or 9.5. 9.5, whatever. You can get it. You can get a 10 for the Bears if you want it, but most the consensus line is 9.5. Total is up to 47, opened at 45. So people think it will go over. 44 is the magic number. If total is over 44, 90. I saw something like this can't be true though, because this would make betting way too easy. If the number is 44, if the number is over 44, so 44.5 and above, it hits the over 91% of the time. And if
that doesn't seem true at all.
It doesn't seem true at all, right? There's no way. And if it's 44 under or under 44, so 39.5 or Jesus Christ, 43.5 and under, it hits like 71% of the time or some shit. I can't remember what the other number was, but the 91 stuck out.
Whoa.
He said he had to do something. So I will say, I mean, I think it could. The reason I think it can go over is because the Lions will score 30 or 35.
Yeah, I could see the Bears defense having some issues in this game.
Dude, it was like this when we went to Auburn, my first game.
I think they'll just get tired. I think they'll just end up getting tired because
the defense.
They'll just be on the field too long.
I mean, the games the Bears have lost in this year, like really badly, like they just started out piss poorly. Like, I mean, the KC game was a disaster from the start.
Yep.
We talk about running numbers. It's like you can't run the ball when you're already down 14-0 before your offense barely gets on the field. The Chargers game was the same way. So, I mean, really, it sounds corny, but the Bears could control the tempo of the game if they're able to manufacture a touchdown on the first drive and chew some clock. But that's really their only hope in this one is to ground and pound the Lions, and we'll see. Montgomery revenge game, though, it's going to be hard to stop.
Shit. I don't know, man. The run defense has been pretty
good.
Solid.
I honestly, I'm mostly scared about Gibbs versus our linebackers.
Dude, like, does Monty look thinner to you? Or, like...
I don't know. I don't really...
He had that 72-yard touchdown run last game, and he looked like very spry and fast and trim. It might be the 5 that makes him look thinner. I don't know why a single digit would make him look skinnier, but maybe it is.
Yeah. He's also, I would say the Lions probably have the best line in football. And
well, like lines of coke? You think he's doing coke? That's why he's so skinny?
I said Lions.
Yeah, you said they have the best lines in football.
No, Lions have the best line in football. You're
Yeah.
telling me a tongue twister right now.
No, the Lions have the best line of Coke in football. That's why he's so thin. Never mind, man. Anyway, I don't think we stand a chance. But I think man, I don't think we're gonna keep it within 10. I think this feels like a blowout.
It does feel like a blowout.
Same thing with the Dolphins and Raiders, though. I think they might lose by like 40.
All right, prediction time, Chris. What do you think?
38 to 14 Lions.
Woo! Joe, you with us to give us a prediction or no?
We're going to get our doors blown off. He's not talking, so I would assume he is doing something else.
He's here in spirit. I feel like division games are always closer, though, than we think they'll be. Unless we're playing Green Bay. I feel like we generally – I don't know. The Lions have owned us recently. I'm going to say Lions 27, Bears 17.
Okay.
Yeah, 27-17 Lions. I am excited to see obviously we talked a lot about Braxton Jones. I'm excited to see Darnell Wright with a lot of action versus Aiden Hutchinson. So this will be a good test for him. But obviously, as we saw last week, the Lions are susceptible to some big plays. So hopefully Fields is able to deliver some of those if he's in.
Darnell Mooney kind of lights up the Lions, right? Is that what you said?
I didn't say that, but he has had some success for them, yeah.
That
would
nice.
be correct.
Correct.
All right, folks.
Darnell Mooney.
That's all, folks.
Bye.
I wish Joe would sing the song. That fucking rat bastard, dude. We're never winning 2 games in a row.
No, not a chance. Until
Why did he have to take that? He ripped the rug right out from under us.